Hey y'all, what's up? Happy Monday. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Hope you had a great weekend. My name is Kyle Kurzhal and welcome to the live Q&A for AI automations and systems. The whole point of the live Q&A is for you to be able to come bring your questions that you have about AI automation and systems for your business or for your investing, and I will take my best shot at it. I've got over 11 years of experience as a software engineer. So this stuff is my bread and butter. This is the stuff I love to do, and I love helping to solve people's problems. So if you are coming in for the very first time, that's the setting. That's what this is all about. But today we have a little bit of a unique and special event going on here. So for those of you who know, there was a massive book launch by Alex Hormozi this weekend. He launched his new book, $100 Million Money Models. And this book is really awesome, guys. Like, I'm already starting to go through the course online, and I'm learning a lot. It is so much information. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it a couple of times. So it is well worth it. I love Alex, little silly visuals he puts into it. Helps really drive the point home. So anyways, we are going to be doing a giveaway of one of his books, of the $100 Million Money Models today. So thankfully, he gave an opportunity for us to be able to buy 200 books, and then he gave us an additional 200 books. So those first 200 books, he's taking those and then he's donating them to entrepreneurs across the country. And then the 200 books that they gave us, we can do with them what we want. So I am going to be doing some special stuff with all the books that I've been given. I'll reveal a little bit more later on. So you will, even if you don't win today, you will actually have other opportunities to be able to win, and to also get some free value. So anyways, I hope that excites you. I'm really pumped to be here today. Let me go ahead and take a look through our questions. Before I do this though, I'm gonna go ahead and put the link for the giveaway today in the chat. So you'll have to bear with me for just a moment, because my computer's all messed up today, and I was having issues right before the live stream. Stuff happens. That's just how it goes, right? So let me grab the link here and then post it in the chat on YouTube and Facebook, so that way you guys can go ahead and start submitting your entries for today's giveaway. We're going to be doing the giveaway at the end. We're going to go through our normal live Q&As, and then at the end, give that book away, announce the winner. I don't have it completely automated. That's okay. You'll just have to bear with me. So let's see here. That link, let me grab that. And then let me put that here in YouTube. Okay. And then let me put this over in Facebook in the live chat. Okay, y'all. So let's see here. I'm a little slow on my side. Let me make sure it actually came through. I can see it on YouTube. Facebook is having a little bit of a problem. Let me reload this here. I'm also not in my usual office today, so internet speeds are a little different. Let me make sure you guys have access to these things. Okay. I do see it here on Facebook. So that giveaway link should be in the YouTube chat and also in the Facebook chat. So if you want to win today a copy of Alex Hormozi's $100 Million Money Models book, I'm only giving away one of those today with at the end, I'm also going to reveal additional opportunities for you to win copies. So fill that form out. It's got some information about like what you need currently, any questions that you have about AI that you want to learn more about. So that way it gives me some good feedback to kind of know what types of things I should be addressing in future live Q&As. Okay, so I think that's enough preamble. Let's get into our live Q&As for the day. If you are just now coming in, there is a link to submit those questions. It's the link that says tally.so. You can go in there, fill out any questions you have. I see those questions come in live on my side, and I just go through all the questions one by one, and then at some point we run out of time. Today, again, we're going to be doing the giveaway at the end. So let me open up our questions for the day, and let's get right to it. Okay, so this one is from Brian. Brian says, this one's a big one. I'm considering the help of AI for deal research in the real estate space. For example, please browse newly listed properties every day in Florida that are 20 to 40 acres in size. Through these listings, find comps and underwrite investment opportunities. Provide me a list of daily investment opportunities, and I can review the information provided. Okay, so that was a lot, but Brian, I love where your head is at on this, because I definitely think with how AI is, we're stepping into that realm now. So there's a couple of key things here, right? Like, so you said first, please, you want the AI, after you ask it nicely, to browse newly listed properties every day in Florida that are 20 to 40 acres in size. Let's see here. So there's a couple of conditions there that you have, right? Return to me all new listed properties that have two recently sold comps in the last 12 months, et cetera, et cetera. So the question is, where is your data going to come from? First of all, if you're using software like PropStream, or Batch Leads, or what's the really big one? Deal Sauce from the Sub2 community. If you're using those, you're probably going to be able to set up filters of properties that you want. Like, you could probably set up that first line of filters. That's typically what I would recommend, is find something to get you that first list, and then use AI as the secondary filtering mechanism. Because what you're asking for is, okay, you want the AI to go out on the internet and find these leads, and you're going to have like something that can sift through millions and millions and millions of internet records, essentially. The data has to come from somewhere. So if you're just saying, hey, go search the internet, that's going to be really pricey. Like, it's going to take a lot of effort to build something like that. And then the other question is like, okay, well, what if I limit it to a couple of sources? Like, what if I were to limit it to Zillow or something like that? I think that kind of thing is possible, right? Like, the only thing is about certain services like Zillow, Realtor.com, things like that. Like, they're going to have mechanisms in place to try to prevent bots. And so you're always going to be fighting with them. I do think AI still can leverage those services. You may run into a few problems here and there, but like, we're now starting to get to the point where like AI can actually control your browser, for example. I've done this personally just to test a few things. Like, I've even had it write out like a sample post for me in social media on Facebook. And I didn't have it send it, but it could have if I had asked it to. So that kind of stuff really is getting more and more possible. especially with like OpenAI's operator, their AI agents and all that stuff. Just know that, again, with those services, you might have to be fighting against their mechanisms that they put into their website. And they're going to get more defensive as AI develops too, I would imagine. So let's say you don't go that route. Let's say you go the route of actually like pulling the data from something like PropStream or Batch Leads or DealSauce. So again, I would say set up your filters and ideally have those filters saved first, and then try to get all the stuff out of the way that you can. Then use AI for that second filtering. You might even be able to use AI before that to go fetch the data for you. So if, for example, I always suggest, if you can, write like a typical automation first. So like use an API to go access the services and pull the data if they have it. If they don't have an API, then you could use an AI to go into the browser and probably work through the interface to actually automatically pull the data from you. So that would be like step one. And then step two is going to be, all right, well, now that I have the data, let's do the extra filtering. And depending on what kind of filtering you're doing, like if you need some math, you might have to do a few extra things. But AI is getting good enough now to run like code that can execute mathematical operations. And so, like I used to say, for example, underwriting couldn't be done. I actually think underwriting probably could be done. You just have to give it the right structure in the prompt. You have to give it the mathematical formula, all those things. So, Brian, I know you're doing this manually right now. What I would do is start looking at some of these systems, like look at OpenAI's recent tools around, they released their OpenAI agent. They also have their operator functionality. I think the operator functionality is only in the pro version, and that's like $200 a month. But I believe the AI agent is now accessible to everyone, well, even the like plus users. So that's like $20 a month. You could also look at Claude and potentially hook up some like MCP servers. I know this is kind of technical, but what I'm trying to suggest is I think these things are very possible. And so it's just a question of how deep are you willing to go on the tech to do it yourself? There's not going to be a ton of off-the-shelf solutions yet. The closest thing is probably going to be like your OpenAI agents, which will still probably do a pretty good job for you. So maybe start there with the OpenAI agents in like ChatGPT. Let me take a look here and see if we've got anything in our chat. If not, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly move on to our next question. Okay. So let's move on to our next question. Okay. Tiana asks, what is one automation that sounds really silly but saves people hours every week? Okay. What's one automation that sounds silly but saves people time? I don't know of anything that sounds silly. Not off the top of my head. But I will say that I think there are some very valuable insights that you can gain by leveraging tools like Notebook LM. That's a Google product. If you really need to quickly understand a topic and be able to like aggregate information about it, I really like that. You can even have it like spin up whole podcasts for you. So I would say that is probably one of the neater things that I've come across more recently. And besides that, I actually am using like ChatGPT a lot now for research on things. if I need, I've got this I oftentimes come across these very unique situations where I need my questions answered very precisely, and I don't want to have to go dig through, like go Google search and then dig through all these articles to try to figure out how exactly that's going to fit. I often now use ChatGPT as a first pass for a lot of that information. And then it kind of gives me what I need, and then I can ask follow-up questions. So I really like these tools actually for just learning and for quickly iterating on topics. So Tiana, I know that I didn't exactly answer your question. Nothing really immediately comes to mind that sounds silly but saves people hours every week. So anyways, I hope that was helpful in some regard. Let's take a look at our next question. Okay. Jody asks, if I wanted AI to sound exactly like me, is that even possible? Okay, so Jody, it depends on what you mean. I think the answer is yes, surprisingly. It can sound a lot like you. There's probably going to be little variations that obviously are not, that don't sound exactly like you. But at the end of the day, it comes down to all of this stuff with AI comes down to how much data you have. So whether you're talking about like a voice AI that clones your voice so you can do audio stuff, or whether you're using something like ChatGPT or some other large language model to write things, the more data you have, the better. So the more, for the voice AI, the more recorded data of your own voice, the better it's going to get over time. Also depends on how well these models are designed. So those are going to get better over time. And then on the writing side, the more data you have about your writing style, like things that you've written in the past, the more information that you can provide it in its context, the better it's going to get. And I actually do this oftentimes for my own social media. I actually have a whole document full, like I use a Google Doc, and I have tabs for every day that I've posted. And what I do is I write my article out, and then I use it like a context of my writing style. And so on the rare day where I'm like really struggling to come up with something to write, or maybe I'm like I don't have a ton of time, but I kind of know some of the key points, I can say, hey, here are the key points. Can you write out the details of this post for me? Keep it, short or whatever. And then it can give me those. I'm careful not to rely too much on those things, and I think you should be too, but that's the gist of it. Is the more data you have, the more data you give it, the more like you it will be able to mimic. And I think that makes a lot of sense, especially since AI, it's built on mimicry. Like, we're just mimicking the data that people have provided over decades. So Jody, I hope that answers your question. Let me take a pause here. Let me go to our chat and see if we've got anybody here. How's everything going, guys? Are you enjoying the live Q&A so far? Do you guys have any questions? Anything you'd like to know more about? I'll give it just a second here. I got to reload pages. Hopefully this stream is still going well. I can't see things very well on my side today, unfortunately. Let's see here. Okay, I'm not seeing anything come in on my side. YouTube is a little wonky today for me. So my apologies if you guys are putting things in there. I'm just not able to see it. So, all right, let's answer one more question, and then let's do the giveaway. So Let me pull up our questions here. Okay. So, Andre asks, can automation detect when a lead fills out half a form and then quit? Okay, so, oh wait, did I say automation or AI? He said automation. Yes, Andre, that you can do that, definitely. It depends on the software you're using. If your software didn't support it, I mean, in theory, you could always build something like that yourself. What you would have to do is you would have to, let's say you were building it yourself, just for the sake of argument. If you had to build something like that yourself, what you would need is a form that, like a web page, you'd have to build out a web page that is tracking information as the user enters it. So what it would actually be doing is, as the user puts in their information into the form, it is literally sending out the data to your server on the fly, and it's storing it. And then if, the form is only partially filled out and they leave, then you at least have the previous information that was put into the form. There are other ways of doing it too. Like, you could have like a form or a survey that's multiple pages. And somebody fills out one page and then it goes and saves it to the server and gives them the next page to fill out. And then you have partial data that way. So it just depends on how you implement it. There are some services that actually offer that functionality. I know, for example, Go High Level with its surveys, it does, I think there's a few things about it that can be a little iffy sometimes, but it's pretty good overall. And like when people go through and they fill out a survey through the Go High Level system, it actually does capture partial information. So that's really nice. That's one of the reasons, again, I love Go High Level. For those who are here for the first time, like, Go High Level is one of my favorite all-in-one sales and marketing tools. It's just really versatile. I use it for my own business. I know a lot of real estate investors who use it for their businesses. It's not a great project management tool, but for pretty much everything else sales and marketing related, it's fantastic. So you just have, Andre, you would just have to go figure out, like, what is the you'd have to go figure out, like, what software is out there that has that functionality. And what I would suggest is, instead of trying to just manually Google everything from, your starting point, go open up ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT and make sure it's running an internet search. I think with version 5 now, it should be able to automatically figure that out, which is really nice. And then it should be able to give you a good list. And if you really need to go deep on it, use the deep research mode, because that will go dig up every last possible bit of information that it can. And it's darn good. So, all right. That is going to be our last question for the day. Thank you guys for sticking around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move into now our final piece of our public-facing live stream. So let me pull this up. You guys are going to have to see the screen. Okay. So for folks who are here for the giveaway, we're going to do that giveaway in just a moment, but I want you guys to know that if you don't win the giveaway today, because I'm only giving away one today, if you don't win the giveaway today, it's okay, because I'm going to be giving away a lot more. I have so many of these books, I have to give them away. So I'm not going to do it all in one night, but if you want to win a book and you don't get one today, there's a couple ways that you can get a book. One is in our future Q&As that we're going to do. I'm going to do another one Monday. I may even do a couple a week, starting next week. I got to work some things out. During those live Q&As, I'm going to be giving out more copies of these books. In particular, next week is going to be a little different. So next week, what I'm going to do is for every 100 people that are here, I'm going to give out 2 copies. The person, and it's going to require some involvement. So if you invite somebody and they join the live stream, and I'll send out the details on how that's going to work out later, and they join the live stream and you get chosen, you and the person that you brought are going to get a copy. And I'm going to do that for every